Good evening. We're back. The third episode of Ask Wingy and Aviary.
Our clothes are gonna be the same.
Yeah, we're wearing the same clothes, so you know it's the same night. I have Sean back with me today. We have, since there have been so many questions about rescues, this is a male eclectus that is a rescue. He's been living here with us for about 4 or 5 months. Beautiful bird. If he'll let me open his wings, he'll probably bite me. But how pretty. Okay, come on up here. You can stay up here. And Sean has
A Ferenzi, baby Harlequin that was raised here. Been home for about 4 months. Back here boarding.
Are you going to turn around and look at the camera? No? Hi. Okay, so no calls tonight from Mom. She knows we're on TV. Relax, baby. Okay, first question.
Diameter Kid asks, I have 2 male cockatiels, a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. The 2-year-old has stopped singing over the past few months. Any ideas why?
I might question whether you actually do have 2 males. You ask about a dominance thing. It could be a dominance thing. You could also try giving a little extra sunlight. But I would start with looking into having your bird's DNA tested to see if you have a male and female. Next question. I'm going to.
Why would that make a difference?
What's that?
Why would that make a difference?
A male and a female, because the one is doing the mating call, so the female is becoming submissive and getting ready to.
Yeah, I think the other one stopped singing because the other one is the dominant male. Because it says the other male, Ruford, still sings, and I'm wondering if this is a dominance thing.
Okay, so. True. I agree, Sean.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of housing birds together in general. Maybe you want to get Aruba his own cage. He might be intimidated by Rutherford.
Okay.
But I also agree with Charlie having them DNA tested. Make sure you do have 2 males.
Mac85 asks, what is Avitech Aviamune used for?
Aviamune is made by a company called Avitech. They're based out of California. An amazing product, an amazing company. So to answer your question, this can be given to breeding parents, hens that are feeding their babies. You could add it to their food. You could give it to your bird just to boost its immune system. I sometimes mix this in with, okay, I'll pet you. I sometimes mix this in with the hand feeding formula, especially if I have babies that are what I feel underweight for their age.
Pulled early.
Yep, or if they're pulled early from the nest. You should really leave, if you're a breeder, babies should be in the nest with the mom for 2 to 3 weeks. That way they develop their immunities. If for some reason you have to pull them out of the nest sooner, great product. Aviamune mixed with the formula, and I can't say enough good things about it.
Lizzie Loves Thunder asks, I get really frustrated with pet stores suggesting and selling bird seeds when it's supposedly so bad for your bird. What are your thoughts on seed diets for birds?
Alright, well, I'm going to start that off by saying that seed and nut diets are not bad for your birds. Seeds are high in fiber, potassium, magnesium, vitamin B6. Birds have been eating seeds and nuts for hundreds of years. Most of what is in pellets is what everyone is against. Ground sunflower seeds, ground peanuts, ground corn, ground soy. In my opinion, I don't disagree with mixing pellets in, but birds do need seeds and nuts in their diet. With that said, I do also recommend fruits and vegetables every day. I hate to call it the pellet agenda, but it really is. It has a lot to do with money. It has a lot to do with, who these avian vets are sponsored by and so on and so forth. But seeds and nuts are not that bad for your birds. And I actually give fresh seeds and nuts every day to all my birds, with fruits and vegetables.
Take a hyacinth, for instance. Again, these answers are our opinion.
Yep.
Okay, we're not pro one.
Nope.
Like Sean said, a mixture of seeds, nuts, and pellets. I don't believe there's one diet out there that is a complete diet for any animal.
Shouldn't be. They need diversity.
Take a hyacinth, for example. There's not one pelleted diet that could give a hyacinth or provide the amount of fat a hyacinth needs to survive. Hyacinths, macaws in general, need diets high in saturated fats. There are supplements you can give if you're worried about giving nuts. Some people are worried about peanuts because they think they might be rancid. Could very well be, but there are supplements. There's Aviglow. You give coconut oil. Coconut oil is great. It's great for their skin. It's an antimicrobial, antifungal. I give my birds scrambled eggs. So how do I scramble the eggs if I'm not giving them butter, if I'm not doing it with butter? Coconut oil. Pasta, coconut oil. Rice, coconut oil. That's really pretty much it. There's no one diet that is the perfect diet. It's the combination of everything you give your bird.
I think pellets have become sort of a cop-out. People think because they're feeding pellets they still don't need to give fruits and vegetables. That is not the fact at all. Birds do not break down man-made nutrients like they break down the nutrients in fruits and vegetables. So just because you're giving pellets, you still need to give fruits and vegetables.
There are pellets out on the market that are better than others. If a pellet is cold pressed, the nutrients tend to still be in the pellet. If you have a pellet that's hot pressed, the nutrients tend to cook out of the pellet. So if you were to go with a pelleted diet, I would look for one that is cold pressed versus hot pressed. Now, I'm sure both Sean and I are going to get a lot of backlash for answering this question, but we're big boys. I'm a little bigger, but he's taller.
Diadexis asks, is it possible for my cockatiel to still be mourning the loss of his cockatiel friend a year later? He hardly wants to come out of the cage and I don't want to get another bird.
In my opinion, yes it is. They're highly emotional creatures. You say you don't want to get another bird, but he hardly ever wants to come out of the cage. I would recommend forcing him to come out of the cage. More time spent with you, the better. But it is definitely possible that he's still mourning the loss of his friend. Just like we would mourn the loss, they would too, especially if they were together for a long time. And it doesn't matter if they were a breeding pair or not. They were bonded to each other. So he's definitely still mourning the loss.
All right. Well, that's about it for episode 3. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sean. Thank you all for your questions, your support. It really means a lot to us to have so many followers on Instagram and Facebook, and we're getting so much support from the public. I don't think I ever told you guys, but I've been breeding birds since I'm 8 years old. Most kids play grocery store or school teacher when they're kids. I used to play bird store when I was a kid. This has been my dream as long as I can remember. And thanks to all of you out there, my dream has become a reality. Have a good night.